Hello everyone. I thought I'd do a video trying to explain what is mastering my books. This is volume 6. I've done more than half already. This is what's left of it. So I'm gonna have to, so you understand, every single pages and pictures need to be removed from the book and then put into a sleeve and then put back in the book with new pages. And so everything you see here, all those pages will be dismounted and redone, mastering. So the difference between something remaster and not is that, so this is not, so the tape behind each picture is still there. So this is just to show you that what's left in the book. I'm going to take another page to show you the difference. And so this is a page that is not remaster. As you can see, that one I removed everything. It's already all redone. And this is what happens when all those years that I worked in those books, see the tape coming through the pages. So it depends what kind of tape you have. So the best tape to get right now is the magic tape, and none of that should be in contact with any of those pictures itself. So this is why I'm doing a sleeves for every one of them. I'll show you an example of a page that has been remastered. This is what it looks like. So every page has been covered. The tape is only on the sleeves. And both sides were done on this one. So as you can tell, I'm working on the period when there was the introduction of Eric Carr. When there's something in the back that is very important, some like lots of notes of somebody from Australia, that how they acquired that picture is there. So I just make sure that I put the picture so it could be reversible. And this is a postcard, so I made sure also that I can flip this and see all the information that is in the back. But most of the time, all the pictures that I have that I accumulated over all the last 50 years, that they are, sometimes I buy two magazines so I don't have to reverse them, so I just put them both there and it's all good and go to go. The level of tolerance of a tape coming through, sometimes there'll be, this is a great example, Edmonton, Canada. This is a full page of an article on cases involved in that, obviously. But this is so beautiful that I will allow this one and I will protect it. I'll give you an example of the larger size when it's protected with the plastic, how it looks like. It looks great. And I buy different sleeves. The sleeves for newspapers are much larger than the one for 2 pages posters. So I got all sizes available for me to work with. But yeah, this is how it looks like. So that's going to be, the tape will only be in the back and it does not go through the newspaper. And you can see it's very faint what it is in people coming through, I mean the tape coming through, but it's okay with me because the page is so important that I will allow that. There's a very few pages in my books that are allowed to have the little bit of tape coming through, but there's not many. This is a good, I picked that one because this one is a very good example of, but if there's something is very bad, for example, this one here, that's not acceptable, so I'm gonna have to probably cut that if I still want to put that page. But anyway, I digress on that. I'm gonna go and show you the page that I want to do for you today. So this is the one that I pick. The other side, yeah, the other side is quite gorgeous too. The calendar with Eric Carr. So it's all about Eric Carr, obviously. And so I'm going to do that. The tools I'm going to need to do this is my favorite knife here, That's how I remove the pages. And plenty of tape. I already showed you the type that I use, the Magic Scotch. This tool here is very helpful for cutting pages and cutting the sleeves. Obviously scissors, and those are the sleeves that I'm using to cover most of the pages. So yeah, easy to get. I've bought so many of those so far. So to give you a small idea, I get it takes me 6 months to do one book. I have done so far 5 volumes and a half, because I have done half of the number 6, and I have 8 books, so I got still 2 more books to do after that. So I got enough work for a year and a half on my books, then I'll be all done. So here we go. First step, go under over here. I know where my tape is, so I do one side and other side here. Over here, I'm gonna go here, this side, and this side. So the reason why I didn't do both of them, see there's only half of it. If I did the other one, then it's very difficult to remove the tape, and I will explain. So what I do now is this. This is the tape, and usually this tape this is the one that I put the second time, and it's not that aggressive as the very first one that you can see. See the little square that is darker yellow? That's the old tape that has stronger glue, and that's the one that goes through the pages. So now I got one side done. I'm gonna go do the other one. Let's see, right here. And I've done so many of them, so I know how to pull so not to damage the main page. Yeah, I've probably done, if I did 5 out of 5 volume, there's over 5,000 pages that I've redone and individually wrapped in plastic. So now you'll think, okay, I'm good to go. Now I'm not. Because now, see the glue from the old one? I can get rid of it by scratching it. And right now, the way the pressure that I'm putting on this one is only for the glue, so nothing of the paper is sticking out. See the little powder here? This is all the glue that used to be there. So I want to try to remove that from the paper so it doesn't still work, and try to go through my page. So I got to do that with every one of them. Some don't have it that strong of a glue, some do. This one somehow, in the volume 6 is, wow, there's a lot of them, good or bad. So this one is good to go. Now I'm going to put this page on the side. And this is good to be treated. So I'm going to take one sleeve. I took the liberty of already cutting my tape. I'll show you what I do when I put my tape. I go like this, and then I cut it in half. That way I get 2 of them, and I save, because you don't need that large anyway to do the process. Put my hand a little bit in it to open it so it's easy to go in. There you are. Get the corner, so there's 2 sides that is already closed. All I'm going to have to work with is those 2 sizes here. Here comes the cutting. It's going to cut right there in the middle, so I go 2 lines below. That's my gauge, because I don't want to go too large, that what's going to be folding. Second part. Much easier than going with the scissors. I'm saving this one for the smaller pictures. Now, here comes the details. 2 sides to work with, so I'm gonna go and cut a little on the V shape every corner. Like so, and here as well. Now, I go in reverse. I could easily just fold it, but if I fold it, I end up having, so there's double ply here and double ply over here. I don't want 4 plies, so I want to take one off. And it's that easy. So I'm about like an 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch inside. And when I fold it, it's going to totally cover it. So I do that for every pieces that I cover with a sleeve. Now this one is ready to go. That one is good. Now I'll take my tape. I have a glass table, so I can put all my tape ready to go before I start. So it's very practical. Bottom. And you try to make it as tight as possible from the edge, obviously, so there's not a big gap when you turn it after. I'll show you the result in a couple seconds. So the tape, you can see there, is still kind of visible, but on the other side it is not. And that's what's the beauty of it. And you get a great sleeve protected. So now I can put the tape over that. That will never go through it and through the paper. And I'm starting a new page, so now I'm going to put that on my blank page that I have over here. And now we can go for the second picture. Now you can notice this one has the tape went through both corners here, so I'm going to have to make the call on that, what I'm going to do, and I'll show you what I can do. I mean, look at that, this is nasty. That tape that I was using in the early days, terrible. Alright, second one to work with. That's good. Go slow. Sometimes you get some paper, like especially newspaper, is very thin. You gotta be so careful. You don't want to rip anything. See, this one it rips, but it didn't go through the entire page, so you're good. Now comes the glue. It's very tedious, but rewarding, because you know that your page is not going to be affected in the future. In 30 years, 40 years, guess what? That page is still protected. Oh, that, I wish it was gold, huh? It looks like gold dust. Alright, let's get rid of that. That's another page. Okay, so I told you about this one. So the tape is coming through. That's an eyesore. This one I could easily cut it like that. because there's nothing, it's borderline, you know. If there's something very major that would be behind, then I'd probably make the call of not putting that picture at all, and if I can cut it. But this one, it looks alright if I do that. So that's my call. With scrapbooks, you can do pretty much whatever you want. I try to leave the pages as intact as possible, but if there's going to be a tape coming through that is real bad, I have like I said earlier, there's a very few exceptions I will do. Let's do it like this. I want the full surface corner to be protected, so that's good. Repeat the process that I did earlier. So now you get an idea that doing simple pages, the more pictures there is, the more work there's going to be. It doesn't matter if they're small or big. It's a lot of details. But it's funny because when people are looking at the books that are remastered, they look and say, how did you cover every single pictures? It looks like they were done like I don't know, some kind of a factory somewhere. So no, I did that all one by one. This one is different things you can do here. I'll show you what I can do. So when you do get a corner like this that I cut, you don't have to do another one that was going to fold it. You can just cut it there because it'll be tightened up. And pretty much like this. There we go. So now I'm going to fold it. Sometimes the page might not be straight. The cut might have been not, kind of off. So this is how you fix that. You can do this. And you do two different folds for the two straight lines. And then the second one, there we go. That one is different. It was a little bit inclined this way, so that way it stays close. Bottom. So let's see how it looks like now on a new page. There we go. See how much, I know the camera, it's never as clear as when you are there, but this is how it's going to look like, and it's so sharp compared to what it was, because you can still see the pictures very well. There's no light reflection, and it's almost put like, when you get like an 8x10 and it's glossy, that's what it feels like. You're having like an 8x10 glossy. And this is what's left on the page to add to it. So this obviously will come over here. And awesome. So this one, I was reading that. This is kind of funny. This is from the UK. And would you pay £75? I don't know if it's euro or pound for 3 Kisses. They basically, that's somebody that wrote that they're looking for the original album that that has the 3 LPs that we know. I mean, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, and Dress to Kill. And it says that it made so much good money in Japan and the US. How come it's not available here? And so the answer is, like, he said that he found one person that is willing to sell it for €75. And then the answer was, like, you can just contact a vinyl dealer and they can order it for you by giving a certain code. And anyway, that's what it is. So, but it's the period that was done, obviously, that's 1980 and 1981. That's the cover. That's the period that I'm covering right now. Now I'm dealing with paper that is a little bit thinner than what I was dealing in the other 2. So I gotta be careful on this one. I gotta feel it. Beautiful. Perfect. Let's see what I can remove here. Okay, very kind of, I mean, it's not a perfect rectangle or square, so this can be fun to do, but no problem. This is an easy one actually for me. Again, I'm about 2 lines below the metal line that's going to cut. Alright, this one. We'll do 2 cuts on this one. One for this area here, and this area I want it a little closer, so here we go, 2 under. And here we go. Now that I did all the corners, I gotta go remove the layer. That's gonna be too thick. good. One last over here. To fold. Again, I saved a lot of time by cutting my tape already earlier before I did the video, so it would take me longer than that just to do what I've just done so far. And I'm gonna probably redo the same layout on that page that I'm showing you right now. But many times when I've done my books, I go for a different layout. So a process that I do now, except when I have a page that I really like, I'm gonna duplicate it. But a thing that I've been doing is I simply remove everything from my books and I put the pictures on a table next to me, and I redo new layouts with different composition for the layout of the pages. That's really fun. Okay, so this is entirely done with a weird shape, but nonetheless protected. Alright. And now what's left on that page is those two small pictures. Why did I do that one? Here we go. So there's the tape that I put last time I redid my book, but because I've done my books like several times because I keep getting new stuff, right? So in the old days see that tape that is here in the middle, that's not from the tape that I put last, that was the time before, maybe like 20 years ago. So, and sometime I was getting pictures from pen pals that were already taped on somebody else's book, scrapbooks in the past. So I'm dealing with all kinds. So I said, okay, that's it. No more problem with tape. I'm gonna eliminate that once for all. That's why I decided to do the process I'm doing now. See, those are the two tapes that I did recently, maybe like 10, 15 years ago. And those ones here, that's from way before that. Possibly 25, 30 years ago on this ones. Crazy, huh? Look at all the glue that was stuck behind. There you go. those, see that smaller version I kept earlier? That's perfect for those kind of pictures. I'm still gonna use my cutter to make the cut very clean. That's gonna be much quicker than the other big pages that have different shapes. That extra step that I'm doing right now that I was telling you earlier, to remove one layer here in the back, it doesn't seem much now, but when you have a book that is this thick, all those layers removed makes it thinner, and it shows, trust me. Alright, good to go. Done. And the last one, very small. Let's use this one. Even though it's a small one, still same corner needs to be done the same way. Sometimes I can be, I don't know, like 2 hours, sometimes 4 hours doing that. But as soon as I feel like I'm not having fun doing it, I need a break, put it, close the shop, go watch TV or do something else, and then come back when I feel like it, in the mood for it. I gotta be in the mood for it. And I have a job too, so I can't do that all the time. I don't have all the time I want, but I don't have really a deadline, even though my last few, like I said, every book takes about 6 months, so I try to stay in that time frame. Alright guys, we're almost done. I'm gonna put back that page together and we're gonna see how it looks like. Let's bring it. Alrighty. And that's how it was. Good. It's good. About the distance I want between. That's about right. I like it. And that's the finished product. This one is protected. All I have to do is put the tape behind and put it on the rest of the other half of the book that is done. And thank you for watching. I'll try to do more of those videos.